Yes, indeed. Here we have Millennium Stephano. He is our Zerg player versus TSL Alive, our Terran opponent. And we are moving into Zelnaga Caverns, or sorry, Zelnaga Fortress, game number 1, starting right now. And there's your anticipation screen.
I know, the suspense screen, the anticipation screen.
I love it.
Yes, being so excited. All right, of course, we have down at the bottom of the map, we have our purple Terran player from the team TSL, the SCV Live. It is Alive. Give a big round of applause for Live if you like him. Even if you don't, just do it anyway because he's a great player. And up at the top of the map, our Zerg player, the winner of a very exciting match versus EG Hawk. It is Millennium Stephano.
And here we have it. So Stephano decides that, you know, I took down one Code S player. I'm ready for my second here in just a second. We'll see if he has what it takes.
Start calling him the Code S killer, man.
Yes, indeed.
We'll see how he
Showing
does.
me that, like you mentioned before, a little bit that he should head over to Korea. But man, I think he'd have very real opportunity to take down some top names and advance pretty far into
we'll see
GSL.
if he ever makes it out there.
Watching these, yeah.
For sure. And the actually the GSL just announced the tournament in December where the winner of IPL 3 is going to compete in that.
The Blizzard
New
Cup,
GSL
actually.
event.
So, yeah, the
Blizzard
IPL
Cup.
champion not only will take home $30,000, but will also advance to play in that Blizzard Cup.
Yeah, that's right. So Stephano might be that player to do that. We'll see.
And here we have it. So, I'm curious what Alive's strategy is going to be versus Zerg player. He played a lot of Terran players in his qualification run through the IPL brackets, but...
Oh, look at that.
We have...
Barracks on the low ground.
Yes, indeed.
It's not a Makarax because it's the first barracks.
But if he has another one, that will turn into a Makarax, I believe, right?
The Makarax has to be second. It has to be one barracks in your main base, then another one. And technically, it's not even at your natural, so it's not a Makarax.
Yep. We do have a refinery being added into the mix as well, so
That's right.
we'll see what Alive wants to do with this. However, Stephano did decide to fast expand, opening up with Hatch first, moving to Pool after that in just a second.
Well, the nice thing that you can do with a forward barracks like that is that you can put a little bit of pressure on your opponent. You can build that bunker, you can get a few Marines there, put a little bit of pressure. It doesn't really matter if it does a lot of damage or not. You just make the Zerg think more. Hopefully make them make a few more Lings rather than drones.
Oh,
but
sure.
Overall, it's just kind of a pressure move, you know?
And he'll still have an easy transition into Red Flame Hellions if he wants to, or really anything after that. That walk distance is now very short, and to be honest, that spawning pool was a little bit late, so depending on if, you know, Alive decides to pull 1 or 2 SCVs, build some bunkers, he could do some very real damage.
Well, we see a lot of Terran players going mostly Marine tanks still against Zerg. I mean, that's just that's just a standard. We have seen a few players recently try more of a mech style, which is fun. I like mech myself, but on a map like this, Marine tank would be superior, I would think. It's a little bit easier if you don't want to put up a lot of turrets and base defense if your opponent goes Mutas, to run your Marines around to defend that, then try to move your Thors and things like that.
And here we have it. Bunker number 1 is on the
There it
way,
is.
but a lot of drones were pulled. We'll see if Alive has the micro to go ahead and force a lot of lost mining time. He's actually running down onto the low ground to a second Marine, so a couple of drones could very well go down. Looks like this bunker is not going to get up, at least for the time being. We'll see if another SCV comes back. Already a couple of Lings out there when he cancels.
That SCV went all the way to the mineral line. He just wanted blood. That's a violent SCV. He's like, I should have been a Marine. I checked the wrong box on my Terran application. I made me SCV.
And Reactor coming up now with this barracks, so we are going to see a tech switch here in just a second. We'll see some Reactored Hellions coming out, and a command center being added to the wall there.
Hey, all right.
Might as well make it as high HP as possible for the time being.
Yeah. Why not? I mean, you do see a lot of players do this. Use that command center for their wall in, and I mean, why not? Makes it that much stronger. Makes you able to hide your production buildings a little bit better, so your opponent has that much less information. I mean, you hear it all the time. StarCraft 2 is a game of limited information, so the more you can limit your opponent, the better position you'll be in.
And or drones. Also a game of drones.
A game of drones.
Yes.
When you play the game of drones, you win or you die. Cat's pajamas.
That's true.
It's true. Yeah.
And Stephano playing the game of drones very well. He defended the initial bunker harass pretty well. On top of that, he's already got 2 spine crawlers in very, very good position. Looks like this one will be rooted in time to go ahead and defend against the Hellions that are making their way out. So Alive is not going to find a ton of success with these. Maybe he'll just defy our expectations and run right on by, but Stephano's well prepared to take this.
I hope he doesn't try to run by. It's something a lot of players like try to do. They're like, oh, I need to kill drones, I need to kill drones. But in reality, the advantage of those early game Hellions is to limit creep spread and get that map control again. I mean, early game is all about map control. So however you can do that, that's good.
Alive only produced 2 as it was. It immediately switched off of that, constructing another barracks where that reactor was. So he's moving right into Marine tank.
Yep, making just 4 Hellions and just keeping, you can see him, he's just parking right outside the creep in position where if a creep tumor goes down, they'll kill it right away. That's a great thing to do. You see a player like Slayer's MMA actually is very famous for being one of the first players to do that a lot.
Yeah, certainly.
So really do that every game. You saw it, once in a while, but a lot of the Terran players on Slayers really were the originators of using the Hellions for control rather than just sneaking in to try to kill gatherers.
And Starport already being added for Alive as well, so he is going to not try and make some sort of a very quick timing just off of the racks.
Oh, is he going to try to run in? He's going to go into the main. Oh, nice block on the ramp with those Zerglings, but the Hellions are going to get in anyway. They have taken some damage, though. Uh-oh, he's lining up the drones.
Oh, wow, that's actually a good bit of economic damage. I've got to say, Alive doing far more damage than I had anticipated. Take a look at the workers killed, already 8,
man.
now 11, and continuing to increase.
Yeah, Stephano slipping up just a little bit there. Looks like he's going to be able to clean up these Hellions, but so many kills there. Let's take a look at the units lost tab. 11 drones biting the dust. It's going to slow him down a little bit.
One random SUV sitting out in the middle of nowhere.
Might have been the bloodthirsty one from earlier.
Holding the fort down, though.
I could have been a contender. I should have been a Hellion. He even says I'm in a heap of trouble when he dies because he wants to be a Hellion so bad.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
Engineering Bay being added to the mix. A bunch of Lings are coming through, but Alive is in pretty good position to defend against these. It looks like a couple of units will go down. No, just one SCV falling so far. Very nice control out of Alive.
Does manage to focus down an SCV, but yeah, Alive more than prepared. Looks like he's going to do a bit of a drop as well with some Marines loaded into that medevac. As you can see, the Zergling has decided to become the Zelnaga Tower. Because the first one, the tower. On this map, in case you don't know, the Zelnaga Tower actually self-destructs in 7 minutes. And look at that! Zergling Zelnaga Tower sees the medevac. That's awesome.
Freaks out for a couple of seconds as well, running around in a circle. Oh God, who do I tell? Who do I tell? I don't have a comms
What's the number for 911?
Stephano, though, going up to layer tech off of one base. He's just producing as many Lings as he can.
There's an SCV that was following the medevac for a while. Alive has the most bloodthirsty SCVs I've ever heard. Now it's just doing some scouting, but I like this. He's going to drop some Marines on the low ground and then use the medevac for some vision on the high ground possibly as well. He's going to be careful with this drop. It's a little bit early in the game to be losing an entire medevac worth of Marines.
Certainly.
So you want to be careful here.
And we'll see how aggressive he actually wants to be as these Lings are making their way out, but very good control by Alive. Picks up, only loses the SCV that was tailing behind.
They just teleported right up in there,
and his little SCVs that are trying not to be, but here we go. 4 racks up now for Alive. Hasn't really added any more medevacs into the mix, I believe. Actually, I'm taking a look around to make sure there's no further drops or anything.
Look at this. Stephano has 4 creep tumors inside of his base. That is awesome because that, first of all, keeps the creep tumor safe, and it lets you cover things to keep an eye on places where your opponent could drop you and things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of good decisions by Stephano.
We have a ton of Lings heading down. Looks like they're going to make their way over to where Alive's third would be to scout that out. Not going to find anything. And this is very similar almost to that game that I was talking about before against MKP on Tal'Dorei Malta during the qualifiers, where Stephano took some early damage, was at a little bit of a disadvantage, and then just ended up massing up 1-1 Lings and was able to make his way back into it while he built up his Infestor force.
Some Lings coming in right now, but they were on move command, so they didn't do a lot of damage, as in actually 0 damage. Trying to run past again.
That is indeed little damage.
Yeah, and it looks like Alive just wants to siege up right outside the main here. And you know what? Stephano does not exactly have a lot to defend against this.
No, he really doesn't.
This could be pretty dangerous.
Looks like he has 73 Lings altogether. It's going to require some pretty good siege tank control. We'll see if he's able to split his forces well enough to be able to take on this force head on. Marines are making their way out now, starting to kill a couple of overlords. Here come the Zerglings, see the siege tanks, and immediately back up.
He's going to need to flank from behind if he wants to have any hope of stopping this at all. And Alive just ferrying more Marines into the main base of Stephano. No Baneling nests or anything out yet.
No, and his economy's coming under fire as well. Stephano finally starting to swing a few Lings in, but doesn't kill too many.
Here we go.
But here he's swinging around from the bottom. How much damage is he going to be able to do? Alive actually tucks himself into a very, very good choke point, a ramp, but Stephano does find a way to clean up that attack force.
Yeah, Stephano will take out those tanks. Oh, no, the drones!
Drones!
Oh, the humanity, the drone manatee, the Zerg manatee.
Oh, all those manatees.
That's right.
And Alive is going to run away now.
There's more manatees than actual manatees. I heard they're like endangered or something now.
Sorry,
that's
enough for me.
Yes, it's really Doa. It's not an imposter, yeah.
Oh, manatees. Here we go. Alive going to make his way out to the front. We have a lot of Zerglings now, but unfortunately they're not going to be able to attack that head on. Looks like that's all Stephano can do at the moment. He's falling farther and farther behind on economy. He's got to be able to take a decisive advantage in engagement where he can actually run his way back and start inflicting economic damage, but Alive is just not letting him have that opportunity.
Yeah, Alive is just being merciless with this drop play. It's like he sat next to MMA on the plane yesterday, and MMA kind of like rubbed off on him as far as like his EVT goes.
I see manatees everywhere. Alive going to make his way up now. He is going to pick off a queen and a bunch of overlords. The hatchery, the macro hatch is finally going to go down. Stephano actually going for the counterattack. Alive lifts his supply depot at just the right time.
Wow.
And he's going to remain pretty well defended with these 2 siege tanks and a handful of marines.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Stephano's trying to find a way to do damage. Again, the main is needed to be evacuated. The spine crawler is going to be taken down. And look at this, 133 supply to 74 for Stephano right now. He's falling farther and farther behind. Goodbye, Infestation Pit. Here he goes. He's trying to take out these tanks again, and he should be able to do it.
Yeah, but these Marines have already inflicted quite a bit of damage. These Zerglings were not terribly cost effective, and actually they're going to get cleaned up anyway. These Marines are actually going to be able to kite these Zerglings for quite a while and then pick up in the medevacs and run away. So Alive continuing to do just an enormous amount of damage.
You know, every time Stephano kills off the army of Alive, he has to pay the biggest price in units. Like, Alive is always in a position where it's like, yeah, you can kill my units, but if you're going to do it, you're going to lose as much as you possibly can doing it.
Yeah, these Zerglings are starting to lose their cost effectiveness as well, just as you're mentioning. And then Stephano just can't go back to droning. He has to produce units, but Alive stimming everything up. He's going to go right after this hatchery. He's taking out a ton of lings. Stephano has no way to defend against that. He is going to lose the hatch, and there it is.
Grats. That works like GG. It starts with a G, and TSL Alive taking down Millennium Stephano in game 1 here on Zelnaga Fortress. And what a game it was. Alive just did such a good job of controlling space. That was really his big advantage in that game. And Stephano, you know, he teched kind of slowly. He played very economically aggressively. And I think that kind of came back to haunt him a little bit. I suddenly have the hiccups for a moment. So
no, that's fine.
Take it
quite all right. Indigestion. There it is. But we're going to move to game number 2 in just a second. But yeah, again, a very, very good style out of Alive. Opened up